What is up, guys? I go by the name of John McNeil, and today this is a very, very special video because I pulled some strings for you guys and I was able to get an interview with a super affiliate. So he's been super successful in the affiliate marketing space, and we're going to be drilling him today with questions, talking to him about how he became so successful in affiliate marketing. So guys, make sure you pay attention to this entire video series. He's dropping dimes and knowledge and just immense content throughout this entire video series. So get a pen and paper, take notes, because this information is amazing. So let's go and jump right into this video. What's up, guys? John from johnmcneil.com here, and I am super excited today to have this video and bring this content to you guys today, because today in this video, I'm going to have an interview with a super affiliate. Many of you may actually know this gentleman, but if you don't know this guy, you definitely want to get familiar with him, get a pen and paper together, because he's going to be dropping some massive content in this interview today. Without further ado, this guy's a super affiliate in our space. He's well known in our space and well respected. I want to introduce to you guys Ben Martin. Thank you for coming on the program today.
Hey John, no problem. Thanks for reaching out to me. Normally I say no to these interviews, but I've had a change of tune this year. We might get into that on this call, but when you reached out to me, I was kind of like, who's John? Let me open this email and just see. And then I saw you were a YouTube guy, and obviously I've got back into YouTube, and I was like, yeah, let's do this. You asked me in such a great way anyway. I was just like, yeah, this guy seems like a really good dude. So,
well, man, I appreciate you coming on the channel, man, and sharing some information with us. And so for those that may not know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and like how you got into affiliate marketing?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess I'm known in certain circles, but there is still a lot of people out there who probably don't know me, and that's because I don't really go to many events. I've probably since 2014 I've been to one event that was like back in 2017, so I don't really get my face out there that much. But basically, how I got started in this industry was let's go back to probably about 2010 was when I first started hearing about people making money online. And then for 2, maybe nearly 3 years, I kind of just watched in from the background and wasn't sure, is this real? Do people really like make money from their laptop? And
right.
I had a lot of things going on offline in terms of like running other businesses offline and stuff. Mm-hmm. But eventually, 2013, I got to a point where one of the businesses I ran offline, a landscape business, we kind of hit a recession in the UK and things were tough.
Okay.
And I was like, I got to find a way to make money some other way, something that's not affected by recession, and something that's not seasonal. And so I started to like look back into how to make money on the internet. Did a bunch of stuff like most people do. I went down the whole line of how can I make money without investing a penny in myself because I'm broke. Let me try out paid surveys, which are pretty much 99% garbage.
Right.
I kind of did all the spammy and tacky and free things I could do, and I really wasn't getting anywhere at all. And then my brother actually got me involved in an MLM company, which was like my first taste of an MLM company. And I did terribly in the company. I did horribly. But what happened is in that company, I met a guy who was a millionaire, and he handed me a couple of books that really opened up my eyes to the way life works and started to lead me down another path. And the books that he gave me were Skill with People by Les Giblin and a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. Now, with Skill with People, that book is basically what it says on the can. It's how do you skillfully deal with people? And the essence of the book is basically, if you want to get, stuff you want in life, you have to realize that people are 100% more interested in themselves than you. They don't really care what's going on in John or Ben's life. They just want to know, how are John and Ben going to help me?
Right.
And when I realized that, what happened was I came online with this new knowledge, thinking that I'm going to use this knowledge with free methods to close people on Facebook into the MLM business I was in.
Okay.
But in between that, I met a girl in America who's now my wife. I was on Facebook one day and she just randomly messaged me and said, "Hey, you're doing the same thing as me, we should connect." And I was still really struggling at the time. And basically, we connected. She became my mentor. And of course, when somebody becomes your mentor, you want to do the programs they're doing. So I started to use the skills I'd learned in these books in the programs I joined her in. And we were basically like, some days, John, I don't know if you ever used to do this, but I was like messaging 300 people on Facebook back in the day, and some days getting like 17 to 20 sales in a day from doing that.
Wow.
And so basically that's how things started turning for me. I got a mentor online who started to show me the ropes, and I had a couple of books that really opened up my brain to how it really works. If we fast forward a little bit, 2014, I got on a plane to meet who was then my mentor, my wife, and by 2014, I'd had my first $10,000 month, and then obviously I had this mentorship relationship with Angie, which then turned into something else, and then I was in a situation of, okay, so I'm in the UK right now, and I'm living in this dark bedroom that overlooks this crack den, because I'd been through a really rough patch in life.
Right.
So I'm living in this back bedroom of a friend's house. I've got no closets. I look out the window. I'm looking at this grey concrete apartment block, which is basically a crack den. And I'm thinking, you've just started making some money. You've met this mentor stroke, now long-distance girlfriend in America, and you're sat in this room. Like, what the hell are you doing in this room?
Right.
And so basically we decided that I would put my clothes in a suitcase. I jumped on a plane to America, not really knowing like if this relationship was going to work out or what I was really doing. But I just said to my friend in the UK, I'm probably not coming back. So anything I can't take, you can just either get rid of it or, store it, do whatever you want. And then we basically spent 3 months in America. Then we drove down to Florida. We hopped on a plane to the Bahamas with our 2 dogs. We spent 18 months in the Bahamas. Then from there we went back to America. Then we ended up in another Caribbean country for 2 years. And then eventually we were like, okay, we've done the hurricanes now, we've done the traveling, we've done the Caribbean, we've done the whole laptop lifestyle. Let's move back to the US and get married and let's get a house. And that's kind of like a very condensed version of 2013 to 2019.
It's kind of like an affiliate marketing love story, so to speak.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So on my channel, I have a lot of newbies, right? And a lot of people that just want to make money online in general. So for somebody like you with all your experience, what do you think is like the best model for newbies getting started today if they want to make money online? The best business model?
That is a really great question, and I've done a lot of different business models. Mm-hmm. So I really want to just take a second to just think about that, because I've got my favorite business models, but they're not necessarily the best business models for newbies. I think it really, to some degree, depends on what resources you've got. You know, if you're coming into because a lot of people get started in this game and they don't have any money whatsoever, right? They don't. So let me give you a scenario, I guess, on the best business model I think don't have any money. And I would really say there's two I would go for. First one I would go for is YouTube, because that's where I started, and it's something, as you know, I've got back into this year. I'm pumping out videos like most days. The reason I say YouTube is because you don't really have to spend any money to get started with YouTube. Mm-hmm. If you have a smartphone or a camera on your laptop, then you basically have what you need. You don't even really need a mic to begin with, although, you know, you may want to invest in a mic if you can. So YouTube is entirely free. All it takes is time and efforts. Now, a lot of people will hit me with the whole, but I don't want to show my face on camera. And you know, I have two responses to that. Reply number one is, stay broke or put your face on camera. That's reply number one. Get over it, right? You know, I didn't want to put my face on camera to begin with either, and I hated my first 30 videos, but I just did it because my desire not to be broke was stronger than me hating getting on camera.
Absolutely.
Reply number two, I would say, is, there are actually many, many channels out there, big channels that make a lot of money that don't even put their face on camera. They do screen share videos.
Huge channels.
So, yeah, huge channels, much, much bigger than my channel. This new channel is really, really small. But, you know, so there is really no excuse when it comes to YouTube. You don't have to put your face on camera. The reason I prefer putting a face on camera, though, is because I do feel showing your face and people being able to see who you are does give you a little bit more of an edge. You know, we're basically in a social media age where people do like to see a face, but it's not the be-all and end-all. It's still possible to succeed without it. So if I had no money, that is what I would do. I would start a YouTube channel. I would pick a niche, one of the big niches like making money online or health and fitness or something to do with, you know, beauty and skincare, that kind of thing, even, you know, dating and relationships.
Right.
I would pick a niche like that, and I would build out my channel with long tail keywords associated with the niche I was in, and I would link back to products, or I would preferably link back to getting people on an email list. So now if I had money, I would probably do a combination of that. Still do YouTube, but I would also actually mix in running some paid ads, whether that be solo ads or Facebook ads or YouTube ads, in order for me to grow my email list more effective. Because, I mean, we'll probably get into this a little bit more later, but everything I do really leads back to building an email list. So now, I did forget to say as well, one other thing I would potentially do if I was starting with no money is I would start something like an Etsy store. You know, my wife actually has a little Etsy store, and it's 99% free to do an Etsy store. It just costs you 20 cents to list an item. You don't have to buy anything because Etsy works. You can do drop shipping there.
Okay.
And so there's no out-of-pocket expenses. And Etsy has a lot of organic buyer traffic. So you could set up an Etsy store, for example. You could sell T-shirts. You could sell mugs. You could sell makeup. You could sell some kind of jewelry. You don't have to pay for any of that. You just, when the customer pays you, you then place your order and you have it drop shipped to the customer. So that is another way I would start. If I could go back now, I would build out an Etsy store because it would be basically free to do so.
Right. Okay. That's all good information. And I know, like, from watching your YouTube videos and from being on your list, I know that you're a great email marketer. So that's one of the things that I definitely wanted to dive into in this interview. So with the email marketing business model, what do you think, somebody starting out, what's the best way, the most effective way to start building an email list? Is it with doing some of the paid strategies and free strategies, or how do you suggest someone getting started building a list?
Paid is obviously faster and it's more scalable, which is why I basically spent from 2014 to 2018 predominantly focusing on paid methods, which consisted of Facebook ads, solo ads, and I was doing some product launches, which people think launching products is free traffic, but it's not actually free traffic. You're making a product, and what you're doing is you're paying affiliates money to send you their traffic. It's paid traffic, basically.
Right.
So what I would say is this: once you've got money, the smartest thing you can do is leverage your money to get results faster. So I do always lean more towards paid traffic, but again, I got to throw the YouTube thing in there because I'm using YouTube right now too, and YouTube is a really smart way of getting free traffic because there's so much traffic on YouTube. People are looking for information all the time in the affiliate marketing niche that we're in,
Right.
And you can very easily start picking up 2, 5, 10, 30 email subscribers a day just by driving people to a capture page in your description box. So I would do a combination of using YouTube to build like a presence, and so people can like see you, hear your voice.
Right.
And when you're actually making money, start to scale that even more by investing into paid traffic.
Yeah, I always think that YouTube is a great asset to have as an affiliate marketer because it brands you and it builds that trust and credibility with your audience. So it helps when you're trying to recommend a product or service. So on that same line, though, with affiliate marketing and building your list, I know that the squeeze page is super important to, your conversions on the back end. So people struggle every day with getting high converting squeeze pages, getting people through that front door. What kind of tips could you give us about creating a high converting squeeze page that are going to get, maybe a 50% opt-in rate?
Yeah, that's a good question. And really, I break my capture page down into 3 or 4 important parts, and these are the parts you'll find on almost every capture page I use. And typically, my aim for a capture page is to convert at 50% or more. There's the standard capture page converts at about 25 to 30%,
yeah.
But I typically don't want to use anything unless it's converting at 50% or more. But let me kind of break down my philosophy on how a capture page works. What you've got to imagine is, right, especially when you're doing affiliate marketing, and especially when you're using something like solo ad traffic, right? Biggest thing in terms of building a capture page is before you even build a capture page, you've got to understand the mindset of the traffic that you're sending to the capture page.
Right.
So if I was building a capture page for Facebook leads that had never seen much about affiliate marketing, it would be a little bit different to how I would build a capture page for a solo ad lead. Because typically a solo ad lead is seen every offer under the sun. There used to being like emails. There used to being bullshitted with hypey promises.
Yeah.
And they have a kind of yeah, right, this is too good to be true mentality. And a lot of solo ad leads, they don't want to spend a ton of money up front either. So imagine your capture page headline is the water rights, and the solo ad visitor, the person visiting from a solo ad click,
right,
is a deer. Now, this sounds a little bit weird, but imagine it this way.
Okay.
So you know, John, like if you're out and a deer is drinking at the water hole, they're always on high alerts. Now, why are they on high alerts? Because they're looking out for predators. Mm-hmm. And really, the way a solo ad lead sees the marketer is they know we're marketing to them. They know we want their money, and they're used to predators. So if there's anything on your capture page that alarms them, they're going to leave. They're not going to give you their email. They're going to leave. So I look at a lot of capture pages, and they're using all these flashing arrows and video backgrounds and majorly hypey claims. And all that happens is somebody comes to the page and they just smell bullshit. That's what happens. Yeah. So the best thing you can do is keep your capture pages plain, ugly, simple, and under-promise and over-deliver. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is telling somebody on a capture page headline they can make $100 a day normally works better than saying, hey, you can make like $7,000 a day. $100 a day is more believable than something like $7,000. So my capture pages can basically consist of it's a plain white background with black text. My headline, I come up with a lead magnet mm-hmm. and a hook. Now, by a lead magnet, or it could be a big idea, a concept. Mm-hmm. So let me give you an example of like a capture page I've used recently. So kind of a big idea could be something like underground list building system. So that's like my attention grabbing idea. Underground list building system. So that's part one. Come up with like a concept. Underground list building system and make it sound sexy. Right. And then I want a hook to make people go, oh, I want that. So underground list building system may be my big idea, the concept. My hook might be puts $100 per day in your pocket on autopilot in 24 hours or less. That might be my hook, right? So now I've got their attention. Then all I'm going to do underneath is I'm going to have obviously a box where they can enter their email. Now, side note, a lot of people say, Ben, should I be collecting names too? And I used to be totally against collecting names. But what I've actually found recently is if you collect the name and email, there's not really much difference in terms of conversion rate. And I actually feel having people's name is an advantage. So I've started to collect name and email. Okay. But then I have a call. Then I have a call to action, which is the button. And what I found on the button is basically like if you write something like "Let me show you now," it's not as powerful as writing "Yes, send it to me now." If you write on the button as if you are the person speaking, what do they call that, John? Speaking in the
first person or whatever.
Yeah. There's a special way of putting that, but I always write on my button something like "Yes, show me now," rather than "Let me show you now." Right. So, and then there's something I call the magic word and the magic phrase. Now, the magic word is free. Anywhere you can insert the word free on your capture page will increase conversions. Because even if what you're giving on the next page isn't free, people love to see that word free. So I might write somewhere on my capture page, I might write free, watch a free video on the next page. If you can get that word free in on the page, it's going to bump your conversions. Now, another thing I've found with the capture page is a lot of people like to enter in fake email addresses. Right. because they just want to get the information on the other side of the page, but they don't want to be marketed to later.
Of course.
And what I do on most of my capture pages, I put this little sentence right under the submit button where I'll say, the free information will be sent to the email provided above.
Gotcha.
So in other words, what I'm saying to people psychologically is, if you give me a fake email, you ain't getting jack on the next page. That's what I'm basically saying.
Right.
So if you break that down, you've got the headline, which consists of a big idea,
Right.
or a lead magnet. Now, a lead magnet could be free 21-page PDF. That could be a lead magnet. Mm-hmm. So big idea or a lead magnet, a hook where you basically make a sexy promise.
Yeah. And
then you've got your call to action, the use of the word free, and one more thing, an exit pop-up. Okay. So when people try and leave your page, I notice on a lot of pages, people don't have an exit pop-up. So what an exit pop-up does is if somebody tries to leave your page, you basically give them an opportunity, a second chance of like opting into your capture page, and you say, hey, you're really sure you want to leave before I take the free PDF down on the next page? Hurry, opt in now or whatever. So by using an exit pop-up, you're going to bump your conversions again. So all of those elements are really what go into making a good capture page that converts at 50% or more. But I'm going to tell you, getting to 50, 60, 70%. I mean, some of my pages have converted at like 83%.
That's incredible. But
it takes a lot of testing.
Right.
And sometimes you can change one word on a page and you can go from 40% to like 57% just from one word. It might be one little element of your page that people don't like.
Right.
You take it out and change it, and all of a sudden what was a really bad page turns into a really great page.
And conversions skyrocket.
Yeah.
Ben is dropping
dimes.
So
hopefully, John,
guys.
that makes some kind of sense.
Yeah, thank you. Ben is dropping dimes here on the channel, guys.